I think the biggest thing with a running game, obviously, is it starts with the guys up front. You know, that mindset, the physical mindset, the ability where, hey, we're going to control the line of scrimmage. That's easier said than done. It's easy to have that mentality. I think a big part of it, obviously, is getting a guy like Mike Solari to come here and coach the offensive line. A lot of respect for Mike. He was with my father for a number of years. I coached with him for a year. The stable of backs that we have here is exciting. But when you emphasize things in coaching, you normally get results. And that's just something that we've talked about from the very beginning when I first started talking to Pete, was that was going to be something that you got to have the ability to run the football when people know you're going to run the football. And when you lose that, you kind of become one-dimensional, and that's hard.
What are some of the hallmarks of a Brian Schottenheimer offense?
Obviously, the running game, being physical, play action pass. We've always been best places I've been. We were able to run the football when people knew we were going to run it. We could throw the football when people knew we were going to throw it. And that just gives you that balance that you need to be successful.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. And yo, what I want to do today is tie everything together, right? We are just a week past the NFL draft. We know the prospects and the players that we brought in-house, but how does all these puzzle pieces really fit in? And I was doing some thinking. Y'all know how I do on Saturday morning. It's like, all right, what is going to be the true offensive philosophy of the Dallas Cowboys in this upcoming season? Now, you guys, if you're unfamiliar, because we got a lot of new subscribers, I dropped a video explaining the Mike McCarthy West Coast offense, but I think what not a lot of people really understand is what is our offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer's real philosophy. So I did some research, did some digging. So I think as we go through this process, you'll have an understanding of why we picked some of the picks that we picked during the draft, but most importantly, where they're going to fit and how they're going to help us win. So if you guys remember, there was that old conversation, right? That nugget that Mike McCarthy put out this offseason at the Combine. And Mike McCarthy says, you know, I want to run the damn ball so I can rest my defense. And salute to my guy West Coast, because he is the captain, the president of Run the Damn Ball. And it sounds like Mike McCarthy wants to run the ball too. But here's the thing. A lot of people will look at the numbers when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and say, yo, Tuck, the Dallas Cowboys ran the ball. They ran the ball more than enough, right? But there's a difference between running the ball and running it in an efficient manner. And I feel like the Dallas Cowboys under Kellen Moore didn't really do that. I think things are going to change under Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer. So when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer, when you look at what he did, just from the run standpoint, he likes to run the power run, right? So a lot of people, just typical fans, when they think about the power run, they think you have to have this big physical Derrick Henry type punishing running back. And they say, yo, Tuck, we don't have that. We have Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, Roe Jones. We really don't have a bruiser. But when it comes to the power running game, don't think of it as the player personnel. Think of it as more as a scheme, right? So definition, the power philosophy, getting back to power run game, right? The power scheme uses backside guards to pull and either kick out the end man or defensive end on the line of scrimmage or wrap through onto the second level. There are many variations of the power that can change with different personnel groupings, formations, and defensive alignment. So want you guys to kind of read that again, right? Backside guard pulling around. So what does that really mean? You're going to need a guard that's mobile. So if you remember the Final Word Draft show, salute to my bros on that show, definitely check us out, right? We were talking about Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys like offensive tackles, right? And converting them to guards. Why do they prefer offensive tackles and converting them to guards versus just having your standard guard? Because typically offensive tackles are a little bit more light and nimble on their feet, so they're able to move a lot better, right? Because they're battling speed demons off the edge. So they feel like it's easier to convert and have someone that can move as an offensive tackle versus an offensive guard. So that answers my question. And a lot of your questions you guys have been asking, like, yo, Tuck, in the second round, we had O'Cyrus Torrence available. Why didn't we take O'Cyrus Torrence? And if you guys watch my draft video when I broke O'Cyrus Torrence down, He's more north and south, coming downhill, coming straight at you. He is not your best lateral mover, so that's probably why the Dallas Cowboys really didn't want to make a push for Torrance, or also like the Mafia, the bigger, beefier guys. They want tackles that they can convert and to move. But speaking of the second round draft pick, Luke Schoonmaker, right? Luke, the tight end, right? A lot of people, self included, really didn't understand the pick. But as I was digging deeper, okay, it clicked and it makes sense, right? Because if you go to Michigan, and we have a lot of people who watch my channel who watch Michigan football, what is Jim Harbaugh really notorious for? The power run game, right? So this is a quick example that I pulled up, right? So this is a philosophy. So if you look at Luke Schoonmaker as a replacement of Jake Ferguson, you're going to have a head scratching moment. Look at him more as a supplement, an addition to Jake Ferguson in the power run game. So looking at this formation, right? You have your H-back or your tight end, right? So they can be either a fullback or a tight end, right? Think of this as Jake Ferguson right here. And then think of Luke right here. Let's be honest, as much as we love Hendershot, you know, he's not the best blocker. So 12 personnel just isn't the same when you have Ferguson, who also came from a Big Ten school, right? Who played in a power scheme, and then you add Luke on top of it. So it's like they're going to do the fusion dance and help out in the run game. But here's just a quick scenario in a situation of how Michigan utilized their scheme, right? You have the tight end, the two tight ends, they're getting combo block on the edge, and then the Y is working up to the weak side linebacker. And then once again, you have this backside guard pulling around to kick out this corner. And then there's your running back going off tackle, right? So that's kind of another demonstration of how the power run game can really be demonstrated. And here's another scenario as well, right? This is 11 personnel. You only have one tight end, but it shows, all right, you might have this wing formation, or you might have him in like a H-back, fullback type of situation where he's going to climb up and get to the middle linebacker. And what is everyone saying when it comes to Luke Schoonmaker? He can block. He can block. That is the one thing I will give him. He can definitely block. So if you think of him as an addition to our 12 personnel in our tight end room, okay, you understand it a lot more than just he's going to be tight end one. He's going to be the guy. Now, it's going to be some competition who's going to get the most snaps, right? I think Ferguson will get the most snaps, but eventually Luke may grow into that role if he really excels. But let's go ahead and get into a film session right here. Just a quick film session, right? Here you have Luke as an inline tight end. And where are we going to see? Remember what we just spoke about in the power game, right? Boom. You have Luke sealing off that defensive end. You have this center and this backside guard pulling around to kick out. So that guard kicks out. The center kicks out. You have the guard turning up to get on the linebacker. And boom, off to the races. So let's see that one more time here. So this shows what Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy are trying to get to. They're trying to get to the power run game. So don't think of it as just a big punishing back, right? Think of it as more just moving in space, getting big on small, and letting your running back get out in space and use his God-given ability, which would probably be Tony Pollard. So I really wanted to clarify that when it came to the offensive line and the offensive scheme. Now, my guy Okoye Media did a phenomenal job. I'm going to post his video down below. Go over there because he did an incredible job explaining the pass philosophy and how Brian Schottenheimer likes to use a lot of motion to create numbers and misbalances. He actually uses motion with a purpose, unlike Kellen Moore was kind of using motion just for information. But when one of my Cowboys brothers or sisters does a phenomenal job explaining something, I'm not going to remix it. I'm just going to tell you, go over and watch that video. So I'll post that below. But then here's the next question. You guys know that I posted the video on Hunter Luepke, the fullback out of North Dakota State. And a lot of people are like, yo, Tuck, remember Nick Ralston? He's not going to make it. He's not going to make the team, Tuck. He's not going to make the team. Well, let's listen to this.
You traditionally use the fullback too, right?
We have, yep. We like to be multiple with our formations. Fullbacks might be a dying breed, but we like to use them. We've got a couple good ones, so that's been fun, and you'll see them in a lot of different spots.
For a coordinator coming into this.
So there it is. Brian Schottenheimer likes to use fullbacks. Now, whether that's going to be a tight end and they're going to rotate Jake Ferguson or Jake Ferguson or Luke, possibly that you have to consider that, but also Hunter, I feel like he will be in the mix. So when you come and look at this offense, just from a running standpoint, They want to get back to the run game. If you go back to my Kellen Moore no identity offense video, I said there was 3 kinds of offensive philosophies, right? There are offensive philosophies who use the pass to set up the run. There's philosophies of using the run to set up the pass. And then there's numbers guys who wants to dictate based off of what the defense did. Kellen Moore was number 3. It sounds like Brian Schottenheimer is number 2, where he's going to utilize the run game, get that really going, rain, sleet, or snow, to set up our passing game with Dak Prescott and our wide receivers. So I just wanted to chime in real quick for you guys. You were asking me about it on Twitter. And like I said, once we kind of know, all right, where we're headed, it makes understanding our draft a whole lot easier, man. But it's your boy J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what's your thoughts. Do you feel like, Tuck, you're tripping, we're going to go back to airing it out 40 times? Or do you feel like, all right, that makes sense and it makes things a lot easier when it comes to understanding the draft? Also, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I appreciate all the support. We are growing at a rapid pace, and I cannot do that without you guys. So thank you once again. So I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And my guy, West Coast, it looks like we about to run the damn ball. Peace.